5 genius survival tricks frontier families used to beat minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit winters. What if I told you that a family living in the snowy wilderness of 1880s Montana might have been better prepared for disaster than most of us are today? No electricity, no Wi-Fi, no second chances, and yet they thrived. In the next 2 minutes, you'll discover 5 forgotten survival tactics from frontier families that could teach us more than any modern survival guide. From 12-hour fire systems to insulation made from moss and mud, these weren't just life hacks. They were lifelines. I've always believed wisdom doesn't always come from progress. Sometimes it comes from remembering. So today, let's step back in time and walk through a blizzard night with the people who faced it and found warmth. Let's begin with fire, the heartbeat of every winter cabin one. The 12-hour fire trick that modern campers still get wrong. In the heart of winter, fire isn't just comfort, it's survival. The Hendersons, a frontier family in Montana, had a system called staged heating. They didn't throw logs randomly into the stove. They layered them: pine for a quick start, oak for deep heat, and birch to hold steady through the night. And before adding new wood, they'd warm it near the stove so the fire never dropped. Simple? Yes. But how many of us prepare that carefully when building a fire? Lesson? Thoughtful preparation beats brute effort. But fire alone doesn't save you, not if the cold sneaks through your walls. 2. How moss, mud, and animal hair beat your insulation. Foam. Most cabins were just rough logs, but the smart ones knew better. They stuffed moss between the cracks, plastered the outside with mud, and lined the inner walls with animal hair or hides. One homesteader even described how the steam from their breath froze on the door. But inside, the room stayed warm. Lesson? Nature gives us what we need, if we know how to listen. But what happens when nature turns cruel and your supplies run low? 3. What happened when food ran out? Their backup. Had a backup. In 1886, a snowstorm trapped families for nearly a week. Many ran out of fresh food after day 2. But the well-prepared? They had layers of backup: dried beans, smoked meat, and snow cellars. Small pits dug under snowbanks, where food stayed frozen, but accessible. One woman even traded extra coffee with a neighbor for milk. Community barter kept them alive. Lesson? Survival is strategy, not strength. And strategy only works when you're not alone. 4. The community network that modern cities can't replicate. In frontier towns, everyone had someone to check in on them. One night, 14-year-old Samuel was sent through the snow to knock on every door on their street, just to make sure fires were still burning. No one was left behind. Today, most of us don't even know our neighbors. Lesson? In isolation, we freeze. In community, we survive. But beneath all these methods was something even more powerful. 5. Why survival? It wasn't just about skills. It was about mindset. These families weren't just tough. They were thoughtful. They expected the worst, prepared for it, and supported each other through it. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. And somehow, through it all, they found peace in the preparation. Maybe survival isn't about fear. It's about trust in yourself, in each other. And maybe, just maybe, that's the part we've forgotten most. So what can we take from all this? Maybe it's not just about fire tricks or food storage. It's about building systems that don't rely on luck. It's about slowing down and thinking ahead. Because survival isn't a moment, it's a mindset. And in a world that moves too fast, maybe the frontier still has something to teach us. If this story made you feel something, let me know in the comments. What's one forgotten skill you think we should bring back? And if you want more lessons from the past to prepare for the future, hit subscribe. We're just getting started.